What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jasper and Dhillon here, and today definitely is not the usual setup that you guys are used to. I'm outside in this beautiful sunny weather, and we're talking about the best way to build wealth, which in my personal opinion is real estate and a particular strategy called the BRRRR strategy. Now, if you've been following my YouTube journey, you definitely know I've invited some fellow real estate investors that are using this exact same strategy that I'm discussing in today's video to buy 7, 10, or 12 properties in 1 year while using that same down deposit that they used for the first property. Now, let's get into today's video, and let's start it off by defining first, what does the BRRRR strategy stand for? So the B stands for buying a property, renovating the property or rehabbing it, renting out that property, refinancing the property, and then repeating the whole process again. The most important part in this whole process by far is the buying part. Now, why is the buy the most important part of the whole BRRRR strategy method? Because it is in the buy that lies your profit margin. Now, let's say for example that a property all done up, all renovated is worth $500,000. However, you want to find a property that needs some type of cosmetic renovations, and you want to buy that same property that all done up is worth $500,000, anywhere from 50 to 70 cents on the dollar. So you want your profit margin to be there for you to even renovate that property and refinance that property, and then after have it as a rental. So when you're working with a realtor, you want to tell that realtor that I'm looking for properties that need some type of cosmetic renovations, need new flooring, new paint, a new kitchen or a washroom makeover, which is where the parts that are going to add value to your property. One question that I do get a lot, however, on the buy method of the whole BRRRR strategy is how to find those deals, how to find properties that are 50, 60 or 70 cents on the dollar for you guys to make that profit margin and then after keep it as a rental. So the two biggest sources that I've talked about in my channel, number one is off-market deals. So through wholesalers, I've done many videos on what is wholesaling, how to wholesale, how to find properties that are off-market deals, which is through wholesalers. So definitely go and check those out. And number two, which you guys won't believe, and there are still a lot of investors that are buying properties through that method, is through the MLS, which is the multiple listing service that you guys can go and check it out, is on realtor.ca, and you guys can still find properties that are discounted for you guys to buy it, renovate it, refinance it, and then do that same process again. Now, the second most important part on the whole BRRRR strategy method is renovating or rehabbing that property. So the second biggest question that I do get is how to find quality contractors that are going to do that work and that are not going to burn you for the money that you spend. So the biggest thing that I do recommend you guys is, firstly, go on Google or go to your dedicated realtor that you're working with, ask them for some referrals, ask them for what kind of contractors have they used previously and they turned out really good. So once you get some referrals, let's say you get 3 or 4 referrals, you want them to come to your property and give you different quotes or estimates for the work that you want to do. So now let's say you get those estimates, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 that they're quoting you. Now next step you want to do is ask them what kind of projects are they working on right now aside from yours, aside from the quote that they just gave you. Let's say they tell you they're working on 123 ABC Street. So you actually want to go to that property that the contractor is working in and actually check out the work that they're doing. Are they quality contractors? Are they not quality contractors? Once you visit that property that they're working in, you're definitely going to know if hiring them is the best choice. Now, the next step in the BRRRR strategy, once you bought the property, you renovated the property, is actually renting out that property. Now, let's say your property is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So you want to do some research and what kind of market rents are those properties renting out in your market that you're living in. One way that you can do that is ask your realtor that helped you buy that property, is ask them how much are the market rents going on for the properties in your same kind of neighborhood for 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, the same kind of year built. Another way that you can do that is you can go into Kijiji and do some market research on your own. The next way that you can do that is go into Facebook Marketplace and see properties that are 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and the same kind of year build, how much are they renting for. Let's say now, for example purposes, that you come to a basic number of $1,500, that you want to rent that property for $1,500. Now, next step is getting out a lease, getting out a 1-year lease contract, putting those tenants into a 1-year lease contract and locking up that property. Now, the next step in this whole craziness is refinancing the property. This is as important as actually buying the property, because it is in this step that an appraiser is going to come into your property. They're going to take a look at the renovations that you did, and they're going to assess the value of the property after you've done the renovation. So for example purposes, let's say you bought the property for $350,000, you renovated it for another $50,000, and now the appraiser comes actually into your property and then assesses the value for $500,000. So now you've built an equity in your property of another $100,000. Now what you want to do is take this appraisal report, either go to a third-party mortgage broker so that he can get you an A lender mortgage, or actually contact the mortgage broker that you're working in directly with the bank. With the new $500,000 assessed value, now your mortgage agent hopefully can get you 80% loan to value on that $500,000, which would equate to $400,000, basically giving you your down deposit plus the $50K of renovation money that you spent renovating that money. Now, the last step of the BRRRR method is, once you get your down deposit plus the renovation money, would be repeating this whole process again, finding another property that is under market value, renovating it, finding great tenants, and refinancing it, and basically keeping on that cycle. This is the exact blueprint of some of the investors that are coming into my channel that they're doing for their own personal portfolios, and how they're able to buy 10, 12, 15 properties in 1 year just using that one down payment that they put on their first property. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, as that really helps me out to reach out to more and more people that are interested in this particular subject. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing down below. But that was it for today. Hopefully you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video on the tripod.